Hi, in this video today, I'd like to talk about adding in sneak peeks to your workflow to increase your sales, but also firm up your sales, also to be used as a marketing tool, and also just have much more excited and raving fans as clients. So if you're new to the channel, I'm a studio owner and full-time photographer here in Australia. We specialize in boudoir photography and we turn over multiple six figures per annum. And I enjoy making these videos because I like helping other photographers and talking about business in general. So the next question is why do sneak peeks? I think there's three really compelling reasons to do it. And the first one is marketing. Okay, so let me paint the scenario for you. So in our case, as a boudoir studio, they've come in, they've done their shoot, they're feeling really good about themselves, they're going home. And in our case, we send them the next morning, which I'll get into in a minute. And they're then looking at, fully edited photographs on their phone and they can't believe it's them. Now, that's the way it works for us. So then what happens is, they then do what people do, and that is share it with their friends because they're super excited about it. And the vast majority of ladies that we deal with will share it with their friends. And their friends will give them that feedback and tell them how awesome they look and all that type of thing. And then what happens is, because their friends see them so excited, they think, well, maybe I should do it as well because people do what people do. And so they want to get that feeling that they're witnessing their friend doing. And it's not just boudoir, it's basically all genres of photography because people will share with like-minded people. So if you're a pet photographer or a newborn photographer, or whatever the case may be, I've found that they will share similar people. The second thing is, I don't hear this brought up very often at all, but what I've found is it firms up sales. Now, in our case, we do same day IPS. I've done a whole video on this, but what that means, if you don't know what that means, is it means same day in-person sales. So what happens is, in our case, here's the 15-second explanation. We do the shoot, okay? We then show them the photographs after the shoot straight away, unedited, okay? They pick out their photos, they buy what they want, and that's it. So because by them seeing photographs the next day, like I said before, fully edited photographs, and getting that feedback from their friends and seeing themselves and feeling really good about themselves, I think it helps firm up the sales. Okay, so I firmly believe this. So we find that we don't get a lot of, in fact, we don't get any buyer's remorse ever, to be truthful. So we don't get that dreaded phone call of people wanting to reduce their order and things like that. I think that the sneak peek goes a long way to helping with that, okay? And the other thing too is, I think it helps you get positive Google reviews. I've covered this in my review video as well. I'll put the two links in the video in the notes below. Now, I also think, say you haven't done the sales session yet, like this happens to us occasionally where we can't do it, we run out of time or something happens or there's some reason, but sometimes we might be doing them like in a few days' time. I still send them the sneak peek, okay, because it gets them excited to see the rest of the photos. And I'll get into a little bit of that later as well. But that's the other thing. And the third thing is, probably the most important thing, is it's just really good customer service. I mean, they've come in, they're excited, they've been a customer of your studio. Why wouldn't you make them even more excited by providing them with some sneak peeks? I think it's just good customer service. So the next question is, how do you do it? So I'll tell you how we go about doing it. You can do it however you want, but this is just how we do it. And maybe this might be of some value to you. So like I said before, we do same day IPS, same day in-person sales. So when that's happened, we have a distinct advantage because we have a list of the photographs that they've purchased. Okay, so we can just go through and pick out what we think are good photos. So that makes it pretty easy for us. Having said that, I still use a little bit of strategy with that. I will pick out a couple of distinctly different ones so that when they get them and they show their friends, a bit of studio magic, for want of a better way to put it, a bit of creative lighting and things like that. So there's that. Now, what about though if you haven't done in-person sales like I mentioned before and you don't know what they love? For the case of boudoir, I found that there are, and you'll sort of, if you do boudoir, you'll know this, or if you're getting into boudoir, you'll learn this as you go along, I think. And that is that there's generally a few photographs and a few poses and things like that that always work, meaning the ones that they'll always buy and the ones they'll always go, wow, that's amazing. So in the case of boudoir, I find They tend to be ones where their faces aren't as prominent, meaning like it might be like a silhouette lying down or something like that. I find that's a pretty safe bet because it's a funny thing. If you start picking out photographs where their faces are really prominent, it's weird. You don't know until you actually show them the photographs which ones of those that they will love. So I take the safe option and would choose, silhouettes or ones where their faces are small or, lying on their back with just a profile and things like that. So that's what I do. Now, back when I did pets, which I haven't done for quite a long time now, I found the safest bet was just ones of just the pet. Okay, so rather than having them in the photo as well. And I found that when I did family photography, the safe bet there was just to show the kids. And so by excluding them from the photographs, you've got the opportunity to address any concerns and let them pick out the ones that they love. So they're my tips for those genres. So the second thing in our case is I pick out photos that are easy to edit because we don't edit our own photos. I've got someone who does that for us. So I pick out ones that aren't going to chew up too much time that I can do pretty quickly. So it's either one of two things. Ones that are really easy and there's not much to do, or two, ones that I know that software Avoto will edit easily. Okay, now, if you don't know what Avoto is, I'll put a link in, but Avoto is editing software. It uses AI to remove blemishes and wrinkles and all this sort of stuff. It's mind-blowing software if you're not familiar with it. It's pretty incredible stuff. But I will often select the photos that I know Avoto will edit because getting into the weeds here, but especially with Boudoir, where there's a lot of weird angles and upside down faces and half lit things and things like that, Avoto doesn't often pick up on those things very well. So I'm going around in circles a bit. So I'll pick out the photos that I know Avoto will edit easily. And the third thing, and I think this is the most important thing, is I always send them the next morning before 9 o'clock. Now, I'm really disciplined about this. Doesn't matter how bad I feel or how tired I am or whatever. I either get a couple ready the night before after shoot, or I get into the studio early and do them in the morning. And why do I do that? It's just because I think that having the discipline of doing that every single time will create a cadence, meaning if you get, for example, if you start booking clients in as referrals, it means that those clients you book in as referrals will get exactly the same experience that their friends got. So, and what I mean by that is that their friends will ring them up and they'll say, oh my God, you did your shoot. Has Richard sent you the sneak peeks yet? And if they haven't got the sneak peeks yet, then they're going to feel like, oh, I didn't get the sneak peeks. So I think that there's a really strong value in repeatability and doing the same thing for every single client. This might sound a bit strange, but it gets back to that McDonald's thing, the McDonald's restaurant thing. Doesn't matter which McDonald's you go to in Australia or the world pretty much, you're going to get the same Big Mac wherever you go, and you're going to get it in a timely manner. And that's the secret to their success. I think we can take those lessons of franchising into the businesses that we do. So the next question is, should you do it? I think it's an absolute no-brainer if it's all been prepaid for. I mean, obviously, there's no hassle. Where I see some resistance to this, looking in Facebook forums and things like that, if you work from a model like we do, where we rely on selling photographs at the reveal or the in-person sales session, and a lot of people don't do same-day IPS for all sorts of reasons. And so therefore, they haven't actually kind of received any money as sales yet. So I think a lot of people have this fear that by providing them with a photo or two of sneak peeks, that they're going to actually affect sales, or they're going to take those photos and not buy anything. What my experience has been, by coming from a place of generosity and going above and beyond wherever you can, you'll actually end up increasing your sales. That's what we've found, okay? I think that there's a bit of a law of reciprocity going on there. Like if you give people things, they will give you things back. I think, but also especially if you send them really nicely edited photos, they will get really excited to see the rest of the photos because they will see what the final images will look like. And I think also it gives you the ability as well. There's also another factor in play, is you can then show them unedited photos because they've seen a couple of edited photos. And so before you present the photograph to them at the reveal session or the in-person sales session or whatever you want to call it, you can say to them, look, these aren't edited. these photographs aren't edited like the ones I've sent you through already, and you can explain to them about all that. So that will give them like a distinct before and after of the editing. And in my opinion, it will add value to the artistic editing that you may do. Just to summarize, I obviously think that sneak peeks are a really valuable thing to do. I'm surprised more people don't do them. I'm surprised when, especially seasoned photographers, don't do them. I think they're really missing out on some opportunities. To sum up, like what I talked about, I think it's an amazing marketing tool. I think it firms up and increases your sales, and I think it just gives you the opportunity to provide amazing customer service. Based on my experience, I think it's a really good thing to do. And if you don't do it, I'd at least give it a go and see what you think and see what the reactions are that you get back. It's a lot of fun, and I think it's really worthwhile. So there you go. If you got something out of this, I'd love you to subscribe to the channel. If you are already subscribed, I'd love you to like and comment against the video. Apparently that really helps with the algorithm. It helps spread these videos out. But until next time, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Stay safe, look after yourselves. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.